It's always fun to look around and see fans singing our Star-Spangled Banner. And thanks for joining us on this Christmas Eve. I'm Kevin Harlan here with Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and our sideline reporter, the Hall of Famer David Aldridge. D.A., take it away. They certainly can. Well done, D.A. Thank you. So with Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, you have two players who consistently look to score in the paint.
Yep.
What's the best way, do you think, to blend those two talents?
Trade Ben Simmons. I think that would be the best way. I don't think long-term that this is a fit together because he can't shoot. And you can cheat it, and you can have him move off screens, and you can have him try to establish the fast break and all that stuff. But we saw in the playoffs, when everything slows down, they didn't know where to put him on the basketball court. And he basically became Ben Wallace in the mid-2000s, like sending screens for people and rebounding. And for Embiid, I want to surround Embiid with shooters. I want to model a team almost like Milwaukee did with Giannis. I want somebody who can handle the ball not only in fast break, but half court too. And I just don't think they work together. I think there's a ceiling when you have those two guys as your best guys.
Here are the starters for Milwaukee. Middleton and Giannis are the forward tandem. Then it's Matthews, then it's Brook Lopez, and it's DiVincenzo in at the one spot. And for Philadelphia, the tall lineup out there for the 76ers. Simmons, Richardson, Harris, Horford, and Embiid. Richardson the pass to Simmons. Here's the teardrop, and that's 2 points on the layup.
And Simmons so deft with the floater, freezing the defense completely.
And Giannis earning another All-NBA nod, Bill. He'll be eligible to sign the biggest contract in NBA history this coming summer.
I thought you had the biggest contract in NBA history.
After you.
Oh, I'm sorry,
after
I'm
you.
confused. Well, what's funny about this is they could have signed him to the max a few years ago, and there was this rule that you could only have one guy on your team could have a 5-year max, and they were saving it for Jabari Parker.
Right.
So they signed him for 4 years, $100 million, a little bit of a discount. Now he's going to make them pay. And
in a big way.
If I was Giannis, I would be very spiteful about the fact that they cared about Jabari more than me, and I would want to sign with the Celtics. But that's just me.
That was a different GM, though, at the time.
Listen, it doesn't matter who it was.
Right.
They didn't treat you right, Giannis. You should leave.
You could see Lopez tracking that shot the whole way. Nice awareness from him and a terrific rejection as well.
Left side, Harris. Over onto the Kumbo. He'll name a couple past superstars that didn't always get enough credit for being as dominant as they were.
Moses Malone would be my #1 pick. Probably the best player in the league for 5 years. Dominant in '83. They won the title in Philly. Really gave Kareem a lot of problems and was just awesome and has now just been swept under the rug. Nobody even really remembers. So I would go with him first.
Ever?
Never. Well, it was part of the problem. They were tape delaying games back then, and we didn't have league pass. We didn't have a lot of that stuff. I think he was really underrated, and you kind of never know who's going to endure and who's not going to endure, which is one of the reasons I wrote my book.
Middleton can't get it to go.
And they're 1 of 5 to start this game. Just really haven't gotten into a flow offensively.
Here's Simmons. Kicks it out to Richardson. A three-pointer is right on target. Richardson's got 5 points so far.
Guys, the passing ability and IQ of Ben Simmons, both amazing.
You've been producing documentaries, going deeper into athlete stories, which I know you love, because I think you're curious more than anything else.
Yeah.
So what drew you to that process?
Initially, it was we dove into these stories. We thought that was the inefficiency of, instead of these big, broad type of documentaries, concentrate on events and players and moments and things like that. And I think as you get into that and you start doing it, it just becomes intoxicating. And the cool thing about it is no story should be told the same way you would tell somebody else's story. You just don't know. You got to figure it out. Like we had Steve Nash his last Lakers season. He wanted to do a documentary about it, and then we spitballed it, and we decided it was actually a better idea to do an in-the-moment digital series about it that you could experience in real time with the thing. And it was the right idea, and that was really good. I think trying to figure out what story clicks the best with an athlete, how to tell whatever story they have correctly is the coolest part of it.
Here's Richardson, and he banks in the layup. Richardson's got his third basket of the night right there.
And he is really in a zone right now, playing and scoring with confidence.
And Milwaukee calls their first time out of the game.
And they just can't seem to get going offensively.
And I think this timeout, guys, is where you draw up some plays that are guaranteed to create some high percentage shots.
And the 76ers with a completely new group now. And some changes here for the Bucks. There's 57 seconds left to play in the first. The drive by Hill. And stolen by Scott. And now the 76ers on the break.
Yeah, they have gone full throttle from the opening tip, showing no signs of letting up.
And, you know, when you've got a chance to put a team away early, you got to take it.
Here's Hill. And he can't stop the run as he misses. Philadelphia leading by 11. Ennis kicks to Neto. Pass to Scott. And the pass to Ennis from deep. Hits the three-point bomb.
Excellent all-around performance so far, hence the big lead.
Yeah, you know, they've had the advantage at both ends. They've got all the momentum early on.
Hill passes to Lopez. Here's Connaughton. And a double-digit lead on the scoreboard as we end the first quarter of play. 76ers lead by 14. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back in just a moment. A native of Cameroon, Joel Embiid talks about making a quick transition to the United.
Not knowing English, obviously at the beginning, it was a little bit hard to express myself. Obviously, I can speak English perfectly now, so that's a plus, and I'm just being myself.
And that unique sense of humor, Greg, is a specialty of Embiid.
He's a fun-loving guy who's become a must-follow on social media. And the transition he's made has been remarkable.
And glad to have you with us, folks. Second quarter of basketball. This game has not exactly been neck and neck, but plenty of time left in this one. And a comfortable margin here for the 76ers guys.
You got to credit their defense, communicating, rotating, making plays on the ball.
They've got them rattled. It's only the first quarter, and already they've made enough big plays on defense to last really an entire game.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade as the second quarter gets going. So on the floor for Philadelphia, they've got Scott. He's out there with Ennis. Kyle O'Quinn out there with Korkmaz. And it's Neto in at the one. All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Kevin, Josh Richardson has made himself into one of the top defensive wings in the league. Richardson says there's a certain competitiveness that comes with being a good defender. The defensive end takes will, and I have a lot of it. Kevin J. Rich is self-described as super competitive. That edge is what drives him.
It sure is. That's what it takes. Thank you, David. Bill, you study pop culture. The 2K Esports League is a phenomenon right now, which is sweeping the country. Do you think that's going to alter the perception of gaming in any way?
Yeah, I would say it has one of the best chances of any esports league to succeed because people just love basketball. And you can feel it there in the offseason. The shift in basketball content and the fact that it's now a 12-month-a-year sport for us. And now it goes from the playoffs to the draft to where people going in free agency. And then that plays out for a month, and then something else will happen. All of a sudden it's August.
Summer leagues are
summer
coming
leagues
up.
happening, and then all of a sudden the season's close, and and then you just kind of recycle, and it's a 12-month-a-year sport.
Yeah, right. Hill deciding where to go with it. Here's Lopez, and again the Bucks miss.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
Bill, I wanted to go back to what you were talking about with the 2K League, and you mentioned how basketball has grown into essentially a 12-month-a-year sport.
For me, a 2K Esports League just makes sense. It fits into that. I think people love the players. I think they care about these athletes, in basketball, so much more than the other sports. And for me, it's really gratifying because I've loved basketball my whole life. And for a while there, when I grew up as a kid, they would tape delay in the finals, and it was like the second-tier league. And now to see how popular it is and how much people love it, it's just, I feel like I was in early. I'm sure you do too.
Absolutely. I mean, when Magic Johnson is a rookie and starting at center in Game 6 in Philadelphia, yes.
And it was tape delayed.
And it was tape delayed.
My beloved Boston Celtics won the 1981 title, and it was on tape delay in Boston, and I went to bed, and my dad woke me up to watch the game for me, and it's not even 40 years ago. So I think the other thing that really helps with the 2K Esports League is that these guys play 2K, the actual players.
Yeah, right.
They
care about it.
They care about it. They have an incredible amount of time on their hands because they're too famous and they can't go anywhere. So they're in hotel suites. They're bringing with the PlayStation or Xbox
stuff
with them. They're playing their friends. They're playing each other online, and this is what they're doing all day.
Offensively, defensively, they are in total control.
And don't leave out the coaching staff here now. I mean, their game plan has been perfect.
Pass to DiVincenzo. Now Middleton, guarded by Simmons, and it's Chris Middleton with the three.
The obvious work ethic of Middleton on full display there. I mean, the quick release off the pass, which leaves the defense without much to do.
The power on that throwdown.
Really can't let Simmons get going off of these dunks. I mean, his confidence just rises when he slams it down like that.
Well, Bill, yet another engaging conversation. Thanks for stopping by. We always appreciate your time.
Yeah, next time let's talk about the hard salary cap. I think the people really love that one. Yeah, I have some ideas.
You would make it interesting.
I have some luxury tax ideas. Yeah, we'll get super technical.
I would be here for that one.
Okay.
And Clark, you know what? Bill will always give you a great point of view.
And you know what? I think he needs his own barbershop talk show, Kevin. I mean, he's done everything else in media. Go barbershop on him, Bill. But, it's hard to overstate the impact that Giannis has on the floor with his play. I mean, he gives you so much at both ends of the floor, offense and defense, and really draws a lot of attention from the opposing team.
Brown wide open. He fires. Good, and the assist goes to Giannis.
Boy, I love the unselfishness there. I mean, if you're open Antetokounmpo, make sure you get the ball.
Brown against Simmons. Richardson outside. Lays it up off the glass. Richardson's got 9 points.
Yeah, 3 consecutive field goals have come right at the rim. The D had better start buckling now.
And here is Antetokounmpo. He picked up 18 points in their last win against Indiana. 5 to shoot. Shot from the wing. And Joel Embiid pulls it down.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
Outside, Simmons. And denied. He sends it right off the glass. And so it's the Philadelphia 76ers with a 19-point advantage heading into the next quarter. A look at the field goal percentage numbers tells the story of what tough defense they're playing today.
Thanks, Kevin. Here with Coach Mike Booth.
Thanks so much, Dave, for the great interview. Don't go away, folks. We'll be back for the second half of basketball right after this.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Boy, a lot of energy in this arena tonight. The hometown, right out of the gates, it was Philadelphia setting the tone, showing tremendous urgency and a ton of energy. They got out on a masterful 13-2 run to start out. And that's going to do it for our halftime show, sadly. Third quarter about to start. See you again after the final.
Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. We've seen Josh Richardson really having a great game.
No problems fighting his way to the rim in this one. A lot of points in close.
Yeah, you know what, guys? They gave him too many free runs to the hoop in the first half. I think they've got to be a lot tougher on him. Body him up. Be physical with him.
And on the floor for Mike Budenholzer starting the second half. Matthews and Middleton, the two wings. Giannis is the 4 with Lopez the 5. And it's DiVincenzo in at the point guard position. Clark, over the last couple decades, the role of the big man has changed and required more skill outside shooting among them.
Yeah, that's one of the things. And then the ability to move your feet defensively.
Yes.
Because the three-point shot spaces the floor so much. And a lot of times teams will have 4, maybe 5 perimeter shooters out there regardless of size. So big guys, if they're going to play in that type of an alignment, have to be able to move their feet and effectively guard perimeter players and also make shots from the perimeter as well.
Amazing to see guys that big out there sometimes with a one-on-one with a guard, like on the three-point line.
No doubt. And also the big guys, we've got a ton of them, Kevin, across the league that can really knock down the three-point shot.
Take a break. 2 shots.
First one falls for him. Well, Clark, what a year it was for Giannis Antetokounmpo last season. He took everything to the next level from the get-go. He became a top player in the NBA.
And you know what, guys? Early on, you could see it and you could feel it. It was going to be a special year for Giannis because his progression and development, his hunger, his commitment, his work ethic, all of that helped him become the MVP of the league against a pretty competitive field of MVP candidates.
Al Richardson, he's got 9. Passes it to Simmons. From 12 feet out, and he knocks down the jumper. Simmons got 8 points.
Boy, he's been a rock of offensive support so far, and when they've needed a basket, they've turned to him.
Here's DiVincenzo. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Here's Antetokounmpo, and the slam dunk by Antetokounmpo.
Absolutely awesome to watch Antetokounmpo rise up for these throwdowns. I mean, it's really quite easy for him.
Lopez with the steal. Middleton with it. As you can see from his numbers, he's been a key component in their offense. He's averaging almost 18 points a game. Giannis outside. Clock at 6 for the 3. Al Horford with the rebound.
And that's the battle they haven't been winning today. Their work on the glass has been porous, and that's got to change.
Yeah, no question about it. I mean, as they're looking to battle back, that's one of the key elements. You got to rebound.
Harris with it. Now guarded by Middleton. Tipped away. Fast break, Milwaukee. Here's Antetokounmpo, and Antetokounmpo slams it in.
And, you know, this is why people are so high on Antetokounmpo. I mean, he's a ferocious player, great competitive spirit, tremendous work ethic, and highly skilled. He wants to dominate.
And Philadelphia decides to take their first timeout right here.
Well, you know, the Bucks can be a real force on defense. Were the top-rated defense last season in the league and number 1 in rebounding and challenging shooters as well.
Both teams will make substitutions. 3 minutes gone now in the third quarter. Here's Neto, and the layup's good off the glass. And the 76ers lead by 14.
When you allow good scorers to get uncontested shots at the rim, no wonder you're losing.
You know, he should be getting extra attention from the defense, not less.
Pass to Connaughton. Now the pass to Korver. Offline with his 3. And Clark, the length and size of the Bucks, a big part of their defensive success.
Well, I agree. I mean, versatile defenders across the board for the Bucks. They can handle switches and pick and rolls comfortably. Makes for a very strong defensive force no matter who's on the floor for this team. Boy, you can't give him any room to maneuver on the board, because once he does, he's going to make you pay.
The Bucks shooting their 5th free throw of the game here.
And the fun-loving personality Lopez has makes him a likable teammate. It's clear that they love playing with him.
1:15 left in the third quarter. Shot clock at 5. Scott kicks to Neto. Over Hill. Offensive rebound. Pass to Ennis. And here is Scott. Passes to Neto. Rebound, Milwaukee.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
With some arc. That's good, and the 76ers lead is cut to just 9 on the basket from Hill.
I'll tell you, they're right in this. We'll see if they can maintain momentum.
Well, it starts with defense. They got some stops, scored some buckets after that, and now we've got ourselves a ball game.
Ennis misses. Here's Milwaukee now. They're on a 14-4 run right now. Hill has the open look. That one wide left.
I guess even he has to miss one of those once in a while.
Here's Neto. Over Hill. No good on the last second attempt there. And so it's the Philadelphia 76ers. Ahead by 9 as the quarter comes to a close. Their defense has been terrific in this game. We've got more in store for you right after this. Let's listen in on what Mike Budenholzer had to say to his team in the huddle.
Just keep running. Keep getting stuff. The offense will come. See if we can move it a little bit more against the runs.
And this is it. Glad to have you along for this 4th and final quarter. And it's Neto with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Philadelphia 76ers. 22 is their biggest lead. Embiid is out there with Mike Scott. Then there's Tobias Harris. Then it's Ennis, and it's Neto in at point. That's the group on the floor for Philadelphia.
And nice job taking what the defenders gave him. But these guys need a gut check right now.
Well, that's exactly the kind of defense that's gotten them into the hole.
Fades and shoots. The shot, no good. Now the 76ers take it the other way. Shot from 12. And the 76ers tack on 2 more. Bucks trail by 13. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Down low, here's Antetokounmpo, and no good that time. Good D by Embiid.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Yeah, you look across the board, it's actually sizing up, shaping up to be a great game. I mean, strong performances throughout, and they've really been strong on the glass.
Now let's take a moment to get your guys' take on the scoring so far for the 76ers.
The mid-range that you've seen from them about as good as it gets, and there has not been a drop-off in the second half.
They haven't wasted time getting the ball up the court tonight either, and it's resulted in a lot of fast break points.
Here's what Philadelphia's going with right now. Al Horford's checked in for Scott, and it's Ben Simmons in for James Ennis. The shot by Middleton, wide open. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. And Clark, when you were playing, I imagine the pre-draft process was a lot different than it is today.
No doubt about it. I mean, I came out in 1982 after my junior year, Kevin, and at that time, if you were a guy who was declaring early, you basically just had to go on whatever knowledge and information you could get from whoever, because there was no allowing you weren't allowed to go to a workout. Teams could interview you, but there were no court workout, so it was totally different than today.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
And when you make 5 in a row in close like that, it also takes pressure off your perimeter guys, too.
And the rejection by Giannis. And Middleton kicks to Hill. Hits the front of the rim and out.
Well, they'll be happy with that look, even though it didn't fall.
You know what? That's a confidence shaker for him, though. I mean, that's a shot he expects to make every time.
Neto, the pass to Harris. And it's in there.
Harris has really become much more adept at finishing hard shots. Great focus there.
Now, here's Antetokounmpo. And the slam dunk by Antetokounmpo.
The finish was nice, but the setup was better.
Yeah, GA, the pick working to full effect before the stuff.
And, you know, not enough help from the defense there to compensate. He gets a clean look, and that's exactly how you draw it up.
Pass to Embiid. On the wing, Harris. Takes a three. Drills the three-pointer. Harris has got 5 points now in the quarter.
Boy, this is something that Harris has really enhanced in his game over time. Hard work, paying dividends.
Well, if you're just tuning in, welcome. We've got about 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter. And that one drops for him. 17 points for Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Coming off a big game, his confidence couldn't be higher, and coach knows it.
Showing no signs of slowing or cooling down. They're going to ride him as far as he can take him.
There's the pass to Neto. Back to Horford. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
And these are the types of games where one team clearly has the edge. Tonight, it will be a win by a large margin for the 76ers.
In the end, they had a better shooting percentage, and that's what made the difference. Sometimes, you know, things go your way. The other team wasn't catching many lucky breaks themselves.
Yeah, and Kevin, not all about luck. I thought their overall shot selection was better.
And you can mark this one down in the W column. It'll mark their 23rd of the season. And as one might have guessed coming into this game, it was indeed another big game tonight for Ben Simmons.
Yeah, and he was relentless, nonstop energy. I mean, he just never slowed down or turned off.
Not enough ticks left on the clock to save them tonight.
Not by a long shot. It's all but official.
I mean, he is tearing the defense apart, and let's face it, they have not brought their A game on that side of the ball.
Well, Greg, it was the exact same kind of offensive showcase for him in their last game, too. When it happens this often, that's not a pattern. That's characteristic.
And you can sense that these fans, these players, they are ready to celebrate.
And I think they can start that celebration right now. I mean, what a terrific team victory.
Pass to Hill. From deep three-point range, but they'll get another chance. From deep, and the miss. So it's the 76ers winning this one easily. Some good moments throughout this one, but they have the clear advantage down the stretch.
Yeah, I mean, I love the way they executed on both ends of the floor, completely under control for the vast majority of the game. And whenever there was a misstep, they just didn't allow it to.
David, thank you as always. And that'll do it, folks. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. So long.